I was just like in a daze. I was like, hey, your dog just bit me. And he just didn't even care. I mean, he ignored it. And I was like, I need help. It hurts. I need, you got to say something. He wouldn't say anything. And finally, he just started threatening me and telling me to leave. And then he actually said he would physically remove me. And then I told him, oh, I would like to see that. I'm not going anywhere. And then his employees, meanwhile, he's got, I can't count the exact number, but at least 4 or 6 young women there working and other people there. There's several people there.
Customers too?
There might have been one customer in the store. I can't remember. But
what were they all doing?
Standing around waiting for their talking with them. Their dogs are getting.
No, what did they say to you?
They're like backing him up, showing their phone. They called 911. I'm like, well, good, call 911.
Well, how did it get to 911 if you're just calmly saying to him, your dog bit?
Ma'am, he has video of his store. I hope he brought that.
I'm going to see it. But what I'm asking you to tell me first, and then I'm going to ask him to tell me first.
That really helps my case, Your Honor. I'm glad you told me that. I'm glad he brought that. Because you'll see him step towards me. I never approached him.
What I want you to tell me is what happened.
At first, I was asking for help. But then once he started bringing up that he was going to physically harm me, he actually at one point.
Well, how did he say he was going to physically harm you?
He said he threatened. He'd say he'd like to go somewhere with me and settle this. And he actually called me. I was like,
how did he call you his? What phrase?
He said the word. He said I was his. I was like, really?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to understand. I want to understand. You have to paint the scene for me because I wasn't there.
Yeah, no, I'm trying. I'm just like he said, I'm a or whatever, and I was like, really? I was like, you think you can beat me up, you? And I said, I'm not going anywhere. But I never got close to him or raised my hands or nothing. I was still kind of stunned. I expected to get help, not be attacked for his dog biting me. I mean, you have to understand, I didn't go storming into a store waving a weapon or I gently walked into a store.
You think the dog remembered you from the argument with the other lady and thought maybe that you were aggressive, or no?
So meanwhile, he said something about, he'd like to sell this, somewhere out, like outside. It was like, oh.
So this case is kind of interesting. I can promise you it is juicy. I skipped a little bit in the beginning about him getting into a fight with someone he accidentally stole a parking spot. But the rest of this story is really fascinating. There's a video evidence front and back of a pet owner store and a poodle, something or other, charged and bit the guy. And it's kind of a juicy, tender issue. Going to the doctor. I want you guys to see how this plays out.
You want to fight me now? All right. So we go outside.
So you went outside to fight?
I went outside to whatever he said. I don't know. He said, let's step outside.
Okay, so he invites you to go outside. You go outside, and what does he do?
He locks the door.
Okay. And they call the police, then the police come, right?
Well, what happened was he locked the door, so I was like, oh, man. So I kicked the door a few times.
You kicked the door? How are you doing that with a ripped testicle?
You know what? It's kind of funny. I felt something, but it didn't hurt until like a day or two. It really started hurting a day later. That day, it still hurt. I felt funny.
What happened? The police get there, and what happens?
So the police get there, and the first thing they do, now remember, they have called the police, not me. So they assume I'm up to no good. I'm the troublemaker. And somebody would say, hey, there's a guy out here kicking the business. I just kicked it like 3 times. I didn't damage it. But then, he patted me down. He actually was going to.
Well, no, that's what he should do. That's protocol, but go on.
Yeah, he was looking like to actually, but remember, they had gotten their word in first.
Right, I know.
So
that's why it's protocol.
I said, sir, before we get carried away, just do me a favor. I want you to watch my dash cam. I want you to watch the video of this. And he was like, you have video of this? I'm like, yes. Oh, I have 2 videos, actually. He's like,
why do you have a dash cam? I think that's great, but I'm just wondering why you have a dash cam, because most people don't.
Well, you visit Boca Raton in Florida. Very, very bad driving in Florida.
Yeah.
We get everything.
So this is getting worse and worse. This guy looks like a problem child, and he has video evidence that he is showing of a dog jumping on him. Did the dog bust his testicle a little bit? That is what we're here to find out.
Do they see your dash cam?
I didn't see a lady on. He says, he does a 180. He says, oh my goodness. He's like, this is not what I heard. Just bear with me 1 minute. He's apologetic because they have told him a different story.
Okay.
Their story is I went there and tearing the place up.
Okay, like, what was the story you told the police when you called 911?
That he came to the store, my dog jumped on him, and he came aggravating, talking with me inside the store, and I told him to leave, to leave, to leave, to leave. He won't leave. I said, let's go out. That's when I locked the door.
So what were you calling? Well, I presume you told the police he was kicking your door down,
Oh, yeah,
too.
yes, of course.
Yeah.
Did, yeah.
And did fire rescue inspect your privates?
They did in his store, his restroom.
In the restroom, all right. Yeah. And did fire rescue find any evidence of contact?
No, not what they could have expected, no.
Well, because you had said the dog bit my testicles,
right.
And it really hurts, they expected to see a bite wound. Did they find any evidence of a bite wound?
At that point, no.
All right. You then later go to a urologist. Is it the same day?
The same day, a few hours later, I went and saw a family medicine doctor. So a nurse and her examined me thoroughly.
Did she find any evidence of contact?
I mean...
Or a bite, anything?
Well, the evidence was I was very tender to palpation.
Right. That's something you tell her, right? Like, in other words, she doesn't know if you're tender. You're the one who says, ouch, right? That's what tender means.
Yes.
Okay. So now, do you end up with any follow-up care for this bite to your testicles?
Yes. What happened was, because she did find that I was injured, she still thought something was wrong. She referred me to a urologist,
okay,
which is a expert in that area. So less than a week later, I saw a local urologist, and he found evidence that I was...
What evidence did he find?
Well, what happened was, later that day, my wife had looked at me, and I just, not only was, now she knows that area better than anybody else besides me, so, well, she said I looked a little swollen and red, but there was no...
This is hilarious. The guy has evidence. The store has evidence. The evidence is going to show that he was charged at. He had to go to the doctor, he had a tender feeling, and days later, it wasn't doing okay. What would you guys do? Would you get mad at the dog or the owner of the store that owns the dog in a dog store? It's open to the public.
It's an Italian water dog.
Italian
water
dog. Go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, the urologist examining me said that there was something there, but he said he wasn't sure if that was
He has
caused...
been complaining of exquisite tenderness in the left hemoscrotum. On physical examination to the scrotum, it shows no puncture wounds. There is some ductal ectasia present. I do not feel any of these issues are caused by the dog bite, but they can be aggravated and irritated by the dog bite, assuming there's a dog bite. Because that's what I've got to figure out. What I've got to figure out is, are you a very angry man, angry that they're throwing you out, and you're making a bigger deal of it in order to collect, or did the dog bite your testicle? That's what I need to find out, right? Because that's what determines whether you're entitled to $8 grand in damages, right? Okay. What happens? You don't hear any of the argument he's having with the other lady in front of your store or near your store that causes your employee to go out, right?
No.
All right. So what's the first thing that you notice with the...
My dog was loose inside. For 1 second, I step over.
Okay, is your dog always loose in the pet store?
Yes. I have videos of my dog with customers.
Yes, I know. I saw 400 videos of your dog being cute, but here's my question. How did your dog pass it?
I left it open. Maybe
Okay.
because I was
all right,
trying
right.
to see.
That's where the negligence comes in, that you could be potentially liable for damages on. That's what I'm trying to explain to you for the future, but go on.
I, with the dog in the store loose, is liable. That 1 second that you step away and your dog bites someone, you are at fault. He's lucky that he didn't step away from a child near a pool, because that would be the 1 second that something happened. I'm kind of getting over this case because I just want to hear the ending. Let's check it.
I called the fire rescue. So they called the fire rescue. They came. They asked to use the bathroom to check his private what's going on. He came back. He said, "Listen, nothing happened." He keep arguing inside the store, like.
Did the police ask you whether you wanted him arrested for criminal mischief for kicking the door?
No, I don't record.
Okay.
I don't record.
You have a bunch of video that shows you from the back. He brought the store video that shows it from the front. Let's take a look at that. The dog comes to the door. The dog starts barking. You turn around, hear the dog barking, and open the door. He tells you to stop very quick. It all happens very quickly. You're already opening the door. But the dog is at the door, and you see the dog at the door.
No.
That's what makes... So watch the video. The dog is at the door. You're going to your car, you turn around, you hear the dog barking, and that causes you to turn around. He says, wait, and he's pulling the dog. The dog jumps, and the dog jumps on you for sure, but you've got your prescription pack right in front of your testicles. I don't even know that the dog made contact with you. I keep saying the dog jumped on you. He grabs the dog, and you have immediately done what every man in your position would do, which is block your testicles with the bag. How did that dog have contact with your testicles? You're making it up.
Play my video. And,
All right, let's play your video. I do want to play your video.
Your Honor.
No, stop. We're going to play your video right now. Do you see how you hear something, turn around, and then decide to walk in, and there's a dog barking right there?
Your Honor.
Yes or no? Do you see that?
When I walked up, I didn't know there was anybody standing there. And the dog wasn't barking then. The dog didn't bark till he bit me, till he jumped out of the store. And,
You know, there's no evidence the dog bit you. Every professional who looks at you says there's zero evidence of what he's
Your
saying.
Honor, that dog was, you said.
But you do understand that, right? Let's look at the police report.
never get to say
In the
my-
police report, the police say there is absolutely no evidence to support what it is he's saying happened. There are no puncture wounds. There's no redness. There's no anything. And that's what the firefighters say as well. You know that because you've read the reports, right?
Yes, I read that, but the dog went under. You're saying I blocked the dog. He went under my
No, I'm
package.
saying you blocked your privates.
I know.
I'm not saying you blocked the dog.
You said I tried to block with a bag. He was under the bag. He's a small dog. He got me underneath. He came almost directly underneath me.
The firefighters say there's no evidence. Your family doctor says there's no evidence. The only evidence there is of anybody saying there's anything wrong is your urologist saying you have a cyst that has nothing to do with this, but he keeps saying it's tender. It's only you. You're angry as hell. You know, if someone bit Douglas's privates, Douglas would turn around, go in the car, call the cops right away. Instead, you're arguing with him for minutes. You want to fight him. You're kicking the door. You don't present as someone who actually got bit. You present as someone who's angry and is making it up to get money, $8,000. Did you try to get a lawyer to take your case?
I did.
Nobody would take it, would they?
I did.
Yeah. I want to tell you something. I know you think your dog is adorable, and your dog is adorable. But if you know what I see? I see a dog that's not on a leash, which is a violation of the leash law in your town. You understand? Yes, I know you think your dog is just irresistible to everybody, but I had a child who was deathly afraid of dogs. So people like you who just let the dog roam, you know, that was a problem for me when my child was little. And she would crawl right up into my head because she was so terrified. And it'd be very hard to calm her. We have leash laws for a reason. It's kind of different when you're in a pet store, so long as you have a warning outside saying loose animals or something, and your dog is controllable. If you have to run and grab your dog from jumping, your dog is not controllable. Your dog is used to doing whatever your dog wants to do. I get all that. I also know that dog didn't bite that man. I know that. I've seen the video 100 times. I know the dog didn't bite that man, and he's making up the lawsuit. And he's not going to win. He's not going to get away with that. But you leave a little to be desired as a pet owner. You need to control the dog. So don't leave the little gate open anymore. Make sure you have the dog in the gate. And if your dog is going to be prancing around the shopping mall, you are supposed to control the dog. The dog is not supposed to control itself. You got me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Verdict for the defendant.
Wow, that was shocking. I personally don't agree with the judgment. I do think that the guy did get bit in the balls, testicles. He did get a tender testicle of a maybe dormant cyst that was aggravated, and all it takes is the wrong amount of pressure to inflame it. And he did notice a couple days later with his testicle hurting. I think that the video does show the dog nipping forward at him, and it only took 1 second. The video footage was bad. There didn't look like it had many frames per second, so it was like very not there with the evidence, but I guess we can settle with disagreement on this one. I think that the guy should have paid $8,000 or something for his pain and suffering, but also the judge did give the pet owner and the store owner a warning to keep the dog loose, even in public streets, because this exact thing can happen with being a dog owner. You're liable for whatever the dog does, and he was in the wrong for having the dog free roaming in the store. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that letting your dog free roam in a dog store or a PetSmart is a good idea? What things could happen? Tell me if something has happened with your dog. I would love to know.